Hi everybody, Sam Lewis here from the Shining Bright Pageant page. I'm here today with the lovely Jeyanne, so a lot of you may recognise her. Jeyanne is the director of YEMI.
Hi, I'm Jeyanne and I am the director of Young European International Pageants. I'm also a finalist in the Pageant Queen UK and I'm representing Cardiff. YEMI's been running now for, we're going into our 7 years, but only 5 finals because of COVID. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Wonderful. So what made you decide to create YEMI or become a director of YEMI? Have you taken over from someone or did you start it up?
So we started YEMI. So I competed in a pageant called Dream Girls USA in America. And they had, so when you compete in Dream Girls, well, how it used to be was when you competed in Dream Girls, they had sister pageants. So in one weekend, you could compete in up to 4 different pageants. And one of them was Young American Miss International. And one of my friends who she was like an American, she was a coach at the time, and she had these group of girls from Texas that were like beyond intimidating. And she was going to take over YEMI, so because we shorten it to make it easier because it's such a long name. And so she was going to take over YEMI. So I was looking to start a pageant in the UK to kind of gain the same experience as what I gained in America. Like it was such like a sisterhood pageant, and that's what I wanted out of a pageant system in the UK. And I just wanted to combine everything I knew about pageantry and put it into one system. So when she took over YEMI, I contacted the director and asked if I could run YEMI, so I could run it as like a pageant over here that then goes to the internationals. And I was so lucky because Sabrina is amazing and she's like such a good friend of mine. So I've become really lucky that I can now send my girls over there and I get to see my friend when I go as well. So it's just like loads of fun. But we started YEMI with like the plan of basically combining, because at that time, so I want to say 18 when I first started YEMI, and I just wanted to combine everything that I loved in pageantry from different pageants and then put like my own stamp on it and like put my own like ethos into it and things like that. So I think that's what I've done with YEMI, and it's grown to exactly what I want it to be, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, it's like your baby then, isn't it? Because you create it exactly how you want it, and it's like you take pieces of things that you're experiencing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then you reshape it and make the one that you want.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds perfect. That sounds perfect, and I bet you get lots of job satisfaction on doing it that way as well.
Yeah, because I don't feel like when I'm doing it and I'm arranging things, it's mine, and I get to like make the decisions and things, and it doesn't actually feel like I'm working, if that makes sense. Like I do this as a hobby. I've got a full-time job. I work for the NHS, so YEMI is kind of like my hobby, but like in the best possible way. So it's amazing.
Yeah. I get that completely and utterly. I do get that. So where is it actually based when you actually run it? Is it north, south, east, west? Where about in England do you run it?
It's in the West Midlands, so we try and we hold it, which I think is going to be like our forever destination now. It's held in the Brierley Civic Hall, which is in the West Midlands, just outside of Birmingham. This is our 3rd or 4th venue. Fourth venue. So the first year I ran it in Cardiff, we had 9 contestants. We had I think 30 people come and watch it. The second year I had 16 contestants, 58 people watching it, and we could only fit like 40 people in the room, so it was a bit crowded. And then the 3rd year I ran it was in a bigger hall. We got a bigger place because we knew that we kept overcrowding, because I think we had like we did it for like 50 people seating, and I think we ended up with like 30 more people stood up or something like that. So we got a bigger hall again, and we completely sold out of that as well. So we had like 240 people turn up, and I actually had to, and we sold out, even like we couldn't sell any tickets on the door. We sold out weeks and weeks before the finals, and I actually had to say to people like, you can't come in, you have to go home, and people had traveled down and things like that. But it was like a fire hazard. We had so many people turn up. It was ridiculous. So we had like over 200 people.
Pageant, isn't it? The testament to you and your pageant that's just grown and grown and grown. You're doing something right.
Exactly. And like people say that they like, there's a lot of people that come to watch YEMI every year and they love to watch it because they love the way that I have it directed and how it moves so quickly, and it's just like, it's a show, and they always look forward to the opening number and things like that. So it's good to know. But yeah, we've just grown every year. Our contestants go up. We get at least like 10 more every year. And now we're in like a really big venue that's like a theatre venue. So we can get quite a lot in. And I think last year we had 450 people coming to watch. So it's like,
how many contestants did you have?
How many did I have last year? I think I had 29.
Oh my goodness.
29 contestants. Yeah.
It's a massive audience as well then, isn't it?
Yeah, like just everyone came. It was, yeah. So it's really flattering, it is.
That's awesome. So is there like an ethos to the actual pageant? Is it something you believe in, or a reason why you do it, or is it like for a charity or anything like that?
So we have a motto, which is aspire to inspire. So we're a platform pageant in the sense of we ask our girls, we don't have like a chosen charity or anything like that, because we want them to kind of find their own platforms, especially because we've got such young girls competing. We compete from the age of 7 and up. So we want them to kind of find their own platforms and find their own voices without being like force fed anything like, oh, this is what you've got to do. Especially because I'm from Cardiff. I live quite far away from everyone else in pageantry. So for me to say, oh, I want you to raise money for this charity, it might be completely pointless for somebody that's in Manchester, because it might be really hard for them to fundraise for a charity that isn't in their area. So I didn't ever want to kind of like push that on them, that this is what you've got to do. And I understand from past competing, like how stressful it was to try and raise funds for a charity that wasn't in my area, because then people were like, well, why don't I just donate to my own area? Why would I donate to your charity that you're asking me for in Cheshire or in Bristol and things like that? So I knew that the struggles of that. So that's why with YEMI, I wanted it to be an open platform. You decide what you want to do. You decide who you want to fundraise for. You decide if you even want charity work to be your platform. Like you could decide that, you know what, I'm doing really well with my modelling and I want that to be my platform of how I empower people, things like that. Like anything can be your platform. My girls range all over as to what they want to do. And some of them decide not to have just one platform, but that their platform is to just do well and to just do as much as they possibly can for as many as they can. And that's what I wanted. I wanted them to aspire to inspire. I wanted them to be role models, and I wanted them to feel like every day they're doing good. And that's how we came up with the motto.
I love that. I absolutely love that, because I think most pageants are to do with charity, aren't they? But you're looking at the person.
Yes, I want it.
I can inspire others in any way, shape, or form, aren't you?
Exactly. Like I've always said, like when I have my like my queens, I'm never going to say, oh, you've got big boots to fill, or you've got to just like you're following in her footsteps. I hate that, because I don't want them to follow in the footsteps of the queen before them. I want them to create their own path. So I don't need you to be comparing yourself to the queen before, because your ambitions and what you want to do to inspire people might be completely different to the girl before you, completely different, and that's okay. And that's what I want. I don't want somebody who fits a mold. I want people to break that mold, and I want to be inclusive to every single person. I don't want them to be like, oh, I can't really enter YEMI because I don't feel like I'm this and this. I want them to go, oh, YEMI, yeah, they accept people from all over and all different people, so yeah, that's where I think I'll fit in. And that's what I wanted.
That's brilliant, because it's more personalised as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You can personalise your experience, whereas it's quite hard to do that in some pageants when they're like, this is what we want you to do. So I didn't want that.
I like that. I do like that. Now, you just said that you lived in Cardiff, but your pageant is in the West Midlands. So is that to make it more centralised?
Yeah, so again, like my whole thing was to make it about the contestants, not about me. And yeah, it would be easier if I ran it in Cardiff and it was just around the corner. But then all my contestants had to travel like 4 or 5 hours. So I was like, where can I put it somewhere that is easy to get to for everyone, especially because we've had like European contestants in the past. It's easier for them to get into Birmingham. There's more for them to like do whilst they're visiting and things like that. And they're more central, that they can then like, they can go to London if they want to, or they can go elsewhere. And then like contestants from Scotland, it's easier for them to get to. So I just wanted it more central and more accessible to everyone.
So you're getting people from all over Europe coming into it?
Yeah, so this year, well, fingers crossed if they can get here. When we run it in February, we've got 3 girls. We've got somebody from Sweden, Poland, and somebody from Belgium.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And that brings me to that brings me to my next question is where, oh, we know where it is, but when is it? When's it scheduled for?
So we had to move it, and it's scheduled for the weekend of February the 13th and the 12th and 13th. So we run it over the weekend because we have a day that's rehearsals and like a party in the evening. So the theme this year is a luau, but it's a pajama party, but we theme it every year. So last year it was everything pink. This year it's a luau, so we've bought everyone like leis and grass skirts and things like that, and we've asked that everyone wear really colourful pajamas. So yeah, and then we've got like a tiki bar and things like that, so it's gonna be amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
we do that on Thursday.
That's Valentine's weekend as well, isn't it?
I know. I should have, if I'd known I was moving it. All my contestants have already got their pajamas, but if I'd have known it was going to be in February and it was that weekend, I would have just done a Valentine's party, like a Valentine's Day. Oh, I miss my opportunity.
Very nice, very nice. So, what categories have you got in your pageant?
So it starts with Junior Miss, which is 7 to 11. Then I've got Preteen, which is, no, I've said that wrong, 7 to 10 in my Junior Miss. Then my Preteen is 11 to 13. Teen is 14 to 17. Miss is 18 to 25. Ms is 26 plus. But Classic Miss is 45 plus. But we say that Classic Miss, we kind of like feel like it's kind of insulting. Like I don't like it, but this is, people asked me for Classic Miss, but I just thought like, we don't judge on like your age, what you look like, things like that. So I feel like being like, oh, we're going to stick you in that age category over there, I felt like it was quite insulting, like to say like you can't compete against the younger ones. And I think you absolutely can. So yeah, but so you can have the option if you want to go into the Ms, you can, but you can also be in Classic Ms, which is like for 45 plus.
Is there an option to do both?
Yeah, so you can do whichever one. So so like you can, I don't know if you could do both at the same time, but you can do one or the other, absolutely. But when is this going to be? In a couple of weeks, do you think this will be up on YouTube?
Yeah.
So next week, because it was meant to be our 5 years, our announcement, we've got an announcement coming out next week that we're actually opening a Mrs. category as well.
Wow.
That's married ladies 18 plus.
Oh my goodness.
But obviously, again, they can go into, it's like they go into Classic Ms, or they can go in, stay in the Mrs as well.
So they get to choose. It's nice that they've got a choice.
Yeah.
You're catering for everybody again, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I want, is I just want inclusivity. I want everyone to be able to be like, oh yeah, I feel comfortable at YEMI. I feel like I have fun at YEMI.
That's really good. That's really good that you're thinking that way. What about your rounds and your side awards? What have you got going there? What rounds do they have?
So again, there's a lot of announcements happening next week.
I promise you I will put this out 2 weeks. Okay, I'll spread it out.
So our rounds are interview, which is just I can't remember how long, it's 3 minutes you get an interview, and it's just you and the judges, and they just ask you questions. It's not like political or anything like that. It's really straightforward questions. Tell us about yourself. It's just so my judges can learn a bit about you, because obviously we're sending these girls to America, so we want to make sure that we've got somebody that is able to like communicate and is really passionate about what they do, because when they go into America, the American girls have got so much personality. We just want to make sure that these girls are able to like get themselves as make sure that they're heard. So we do interview, we do photogenic, but it doesn't go to your overall score. This is just because when you enter YEMI, we don't ask for a photograph. Because we want to accept everyone, so it doesn't matter what you look like, and we want to make sure we get that message across. So we do a photogenic for the YEMI finals, but again, this is just because there's a photogenic round in America, and we want to make sure that that you're able to, that you know that that's there, and we just want to give you practice really. So it's not judged to your overall score, but you can get like side awards for it and stuff like that, and it doesn't have to be a professional picture, it just has to be a photograph. And then what else have we got? And then we go into opening number, which is a white dress, a white short dress. Then we have red, white and blue wear, which is any outfit that you like that combines all 3 colours. And then we have fashion wear, which is obviously just fun fashion, which is like the standard for pageantry. And we have evening wear, which again is just a full length gown. So yeah, we've got like kind of like a bit of difference there. I think everyone dreads red, white and blue, but it's honestly it's so fun.
What type of stuff do people wear for that? Is it casual? Is it smart? Is it
we get everything. We get everything. So we can have like a girl turn up and she'll be in white jeans with a blue top and red shoes, but then we also get the girls that go full out and have like feathers coming off of things. We just say to make sure that it doesn't look like a costume, so like it shouldn't look like you're going to like a carnival or anything like that, and to not have the flag on it. It should be an outfit, so whether that's a high-low dress that is blue on the inside, red on the outside, with a little play suit that's white, or whatever you want, just make sure that it looks like an outfit, not a costume, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think everyone dreads it, and then when they do it, they're like, actually this is amazing. You don't realize how much you can actually come up with the 3 colors and get some gorgeous outfits. Yeah, we do get some really beautiful outfits. It's so much fun. But yeah, and then we have some side awards. So we do the Beauty Supreme. So when I was in America, that was the title that I won, and I won over 320 odd girls. And it's basically on photogenic, interview and your evening wear, and it's your combined scores, and it's the highest scoring girl from the whole thing. So we offer that at YEMI as like a side thing you can enter, and it's just paid separately. And we offer that just so that it's kind of like homage to me from when I competed. I needed something that was for me. I just wanted to, like, I deserve it. It's for me. So yeah, so we do that. We do run that as well. And that's like a side award you can get with the girls that enter, whoever wins it. So we do it from ages from out of the junior and the preteen winners, and then teen plus. And the winner of that gets to compete in YEMI the year after for free. And they get like a little sash and tiara and like some other little prizes and things. And we've also got coming, that's announced this week, the Spokesmodel award, which will be, we're doing it, it's going to be the same as Beauty Supreme, and we charge £20 for like different rounds. So like we've got our overall entry fee, which is £250 to enter, because obviously the prize. We don't pay for juniors and preteens to go to America, so we charge £150 for them, and classic as well, sorry. And then it's £250 for all the other rounds, for all the other age categories.
Let me interrupt you there, sorry. So do the juniors not go to America, did you say?
Yeah, they can go to America, but the age groups are so small, they have to pay for themselves, because we can't afford to take them, because the category doesn't pay for itself.
Yeah.
So, because that's all that YEMI does, is we don't make any money off of YEMI. We don't make a single penny. We just ask that it pays for itself. So that's what we, so with some of the categories, they don't get enough entry, we don't get enough entries into them for us to be able to pay for them. So, which is normally the classic, the preteen and the junior. So they pay for themselves to go to America, but we pay their entry fee, and we pay for their sash and crowns, they just pay their flights and hotel.
Okay.
But the other categories we pay for everything. And then we do the side awards. So like Beauty Supreme, you pay £20 to entry, and we're going to be doing Spokesmodel, which is you prepare a 1-minute speech, and you go into a room of judges, and you basically, they ask you the question. So it's going to be like a set question for everyone, and then you're scored on your 1-minute speech, which is something I did in America as well. And it's scary. You think it's going to be really scary. It's actually not. It's weird, if anything, but it's a good experience, and we want to give people life skills. And I feel like job interviews are like, it's going to be so important for job interviews, that you can kind of be like, yeah, job interviews are easy, you should have seen what I did at YEMI. So like, yeah, so that's our goal with that. So we've got the Spokesmodel, and we're also doing it's going to be Model Supreme. So on the day of because we're over a weekend, on one of the days we're going to be doing a photo shoot, and the pictures that come from that, one girl will win the Model Supreme title, and she'll get the pictures that she had from that photo shoot edited for free. So that's the 3 main ones. We also have the Aspire to Inspire award, which was done by Sparkles and Rhinestones, Hannah Golding, and she's basically, you send in like a why you should be the winner of the Aspire to Inspire award, and you get like a trophy and things. And that's a great award as well, because yeah, it shows them, like, it lets them just say like why they think they're a role model, really. And yeah, it's really, really good. So yeah, we've got that award as well, which is it's my favorite. And Hannah she's very much like, she does a lot for our pageant, so it's nice to be able to give that to her, so that she can have something from it.
Yeah, that's lovely. So is there any so that's all the different awards and what you can get. What about prizes for the queens? What do they get, any prizes at all?
So for Teen, Miss and Ms, we pay their entry, their flights and their accommodation in America. They get a custom crown and custom sash. The ones we've got this year have actually got like a little pocket on the back that you can put your phone in, which blew my mind. It's so needed. I wish it had it when I competed. It's like the worst. Because my pet peeve is when you have a lovely picture of these queens, they look beautiful, and they've got their phones in their hands. Drives me crazy. So now they've got the sash.
The sash as well.
Keeps it down. Honestly, it's the best invention. So yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, so they get their entry fee, their accommodation, and their flights paid for. The other categories will get their entry fee paid for, and their crowns and their sashes. And then they also have other prizes as well. So like we do a photo shoot day where we have like our YEMI, their headshots and like their group pictures done. And they get all of the pictures from that, and they get to choose 5 edited headshots, and they can like have other ones as well. And that's with Ant Bradshaw, because he's our photographer. We do little things for our queens like all throughout the year. So like they get a present at the airport, which will be like jewelry or something. They get great presents at handover. So we just try to do like little things for them all the time. And we've got sponsors that are giving some amazing prizes. Earring Envy gives them all a pair of earrings. It's beautiful as well. Yeah, we've got loads of different things, and we do them like a little hamper of goodies, and like they get like chocolates and flowers and like all the things you want. Yeah, fatten them up.
I should never fit into your dress again.
Yeah, you're never going to get into that one, but it's fine because you've had chocolate. So yeah, so like we just have like a load of like they get like a basically, I'm like, right, here's your hamper, and they just get given this basket of stuff and like enjoy. It's like a little pamper session. So we try to put in there things like foot masks and face masks and stuff that they can do after the competition, because it's a lot of standing.
So I'm going to ask you the next question. It's a bit of a tricky one. It's going to be the hardest question I ask you today. The question is, if you could choose one thing that was your favourite thing about this pageant, what would it be? Just one. Got you.
Ooh, that is hard. I think it goes back to our ethos of like aspire to inspire, and the fact that like we're very diverse, and we are very welcoming to everyone. Like a girl messaged me the other day, and she couldn't believe that she'd found a system that was so inclusive to plus size girls, and to the fact that we'd had different cultures and different skin colors and everything in our pageant, and it was never like anybody was ever treated any differently. We never have like a standard, oh, of course she's going to win because she's got brown hair or anything like that. You never know what you're going to get out of YEMI, and it's always like completely fair. And that really, really touched me, that I was glad that she noticed that how inclusive we are as a pageant, but also that how close everyone is and how much of a sisterhood it is. Even my finalists, when they enter, I don't even have to say, oh, just so you know, we're nice to everyone. We don't do that here. They are just so lovely. Like everyone is so welcoming. Our finalists are so lovely. My queens are always outstanding, and they're so welcoming to other queens and to other pageant systems. And that's all I've ever wanted, is just a system that is nice. I know it sounds like really just a simple answer. But it is just that something that is nice and it's fun, and that you can really enjoy and you can feel supported, and that's all I want out of a system, and I think I got that. So yeah, I think that's my favourite thing.
You found your baby, you found your calling, and you've got your buzz.
It's my thing. Yeah.
That's it now. So can I ask you, is YEMI contracted?
It is, yes. So we don't contract our finalists because obviously they're free to do whatever they want. We encourage that if they like, obviously some girls, they enter and it's like a year until they compete for YEMI. So we do encourage that if they want to enter other pageants as well, we don't want them to feel like they've missed out because they've been with us for so long, if that makes sense. So we do encourage them that if they want to compete elsewhere, that's absolutely fine. It won't be held against them. They're not going to get cursed or anything like that. It's absolutely fine. Do what you need to do, because pageants is a hobby. It's about having fun, so we want to encourage that. But our queens, we got a lot of work for America. So there's it is contracted for our queens, just for the year. It's just to encourage that obviously if they win another title and it is contracted, what do you do about YEMI then? Like you have to choose, and then it's like, who do you promote, and what do you work on your platform, or if that pageant's got a chosen charity, like it's a lot to juggle. So we just ask that our queens are inclusive and just stick to YEMI. So what would you do if you got somebody who, mind you, they wouldn't, would they? I was going to say somebody who had gone in for a pageant beforehand and won a title, but they'd also registered with you. I would probably tell them to do yours, would they? Because the other pageant wouldn't allow it. Yeah, so it depends if their pageant is contracted. But I did have girls that they've inquired, and I don't like it. I just feel so mean to other directors, and I wouldn't like it done to me. So I just ask that if a girl has a title already and she's looking to compete, I say, have you spoken to your director? Does your director know that you're doing this? And to make sure that they're okay with it before you even speak to me. And I also encourage girls to wait until their title is ended. So even though they might be looking at YEMI and excuse me, they know that YEMI is what they want to do next, to not actually enter or to ask about it until the end of their reign, just out of respect for the director, really. I'd hate to know that my girls were entering other competitions ready for their reign to end. I agree. It gets a bit awkward and complicated then, doesn't it? And I don't want directors to think I'm poaching as well. It's an awful feeling. Everybody, you find that with most directors, everybody's really good with each other. Everybody's like looks out for each other. It's that sisterhood again, isn't it? It is, yeah. Even across different pageants, people respect each other too.
So my platform's currently on empowerment. So how would you say pageantry empowers young girls and gents for future life?
Oh, so much. There is so much. So I'm going to use myself as an example. I started when I was 14. That's when I entered my first pageant. I was horrendously bullied in school. Like, I had no confidence. I would walk around looking at the floor. If we were in public, I'd make my mum speak for me. I didn't want to make friends. I had the littlest of confidence. I wouldn't have done this now. I wouldn't have done this. I couldn't have spoken to people. I couldn't have got myself out there because I was so scared of what they'd think about me, what they would say about me. It was horrendous. And when I entered pageants, I feel like everyone meets, and although you've all got different likes, dislikes, and other hobbies and things like that, you kind of all bond over your one love, which is pageantry. And so I kind of felt like I'd found my place. Like, I've got so many friends from pageantry. I feel like letting myself get up onto a stage and walk and things, I feel like I'm just in a completely different zone. And I feel like it gives you that confidence to then want to be like, actually, what they did to me was horrendous. And yes, I probably still do have a bit of anxiety from what I went through, but pageantry has got me so much of my confidence back. Interview skills, just the way I present myself in a job interview, how I answer the questions, even tricky questions, I find myself able to twist it around and get an answer, just because that's what I've had to do in pageants. So I do think it gives a lot of life skills, and it opens up opportunities that you wouldn't have expected. So like, I remember when I was younger wanting to work for different charities and then being like, oh, you're a bit young. No, we can't really have you here. And the minute I said, oh, but I'm a beauty queen, I've got this title, they were like, oh, do you want to come along? Do you want to help out? Do you want to do this for us? So it does open up like a lot of opportunities for you. It helps with jobs, it helps with confidence, it helps you meet new people, meet friends. And I think that is really empowering, like that you've always got somebody that you can fall back on because of pageantry. You've always got something you can go to, and like, yeah, I love that about it.
I think the surprising thing I found is people always have this stereotypical view of pageants, that it's a load of girls we look each other up and down and it's very bitchy and things like that. But when you go to a pageant, I mean, it threw me completely nutsy because I thought it was like, I knew nothing about pageants. And then when you get there, everyone's like, oh, I like your dress, do you want a hand, do you want this? I'll lift you up, oh, you've got smudged hair. It's like, whoa.
It's when you're at pageants. Yeah, it's when you're at pageants, and I'm so bad at putting faces to names. I will chat to you forever on Facebook. I might see you in person and I'd be like, do I know you? Sorry. And like, I'm awful for it. But it's funny how, like, when you do recognize somebody, you can just go up to them and be like, oh, hiya. And they're not like, hi, because they are very much like, oh, hiya. And even if they don't recognize you, because I'm terrible for it, even if they don't recognize you, they're always so welcoming. They're like, oh, hiya, good to see you. Sorry, don't recognize you, but what was your name again? And like, the fact that you can be just stood there, and if you're on your own, so many times I've gone to events completely on my own because I know that I'll see somebody that I know. And the fact that then like people will come up to you and be like, oh, are you Jeyanne? I think I see you on Facebook, and things like that. I love that. That there's always somebody there for you.
It's like there's a baseline friendship, isn't there? A baseline friendship in pageantry. You can go there and no one, but they'll be your friend. No matter what.
Yeah. By the end of it, you've got 6 friends, and you're planning when you go into their house. It's always.
I love it. So what would you say are the pros? Give me 4 pros of being a director and 4 cons of being a director.
Okay. So I think getting to go to Texas every year. That's a pro. The just being able to give a good pageant experience to girls. I love that. I love when I get messages saying that they've had an amazing time. The day itself, like the actual day of the pageant, like actually directing, I am stressed out of my mind, but when I get a minute to just think about like what's going on around me, I'm always just like, oh, this is amazing.
The difference you're making to so many girls.
Just the feeling it gives me, like, it's just such an adrenaline rush. And the friends I've made out of it, like most of my past queens, if not all of my past queens, I still speak to, and I've got like 50 of them by now. I don't even know, I've lost count, but I still speak to them, I still support them, I still see what they're doing, I see how they're still upholding to the motto. Yeah, so, and they've all become like my friends, and I know I can depend on them, so that's always like the best for me, the fact that I've got so much friendship out of just being the director, so I love that. Cons, right, I think I've got a few. I think there's never an off moment, so like sometimes I have to be like to people, I'm sorry, but I have to take the evening off, and it drives my friends and family mad because I look like I'm constantly on my phone. I look like I'm just like the rudest person ever. But if I don't answer their message, I don't want them to think that I'm ignoring them. So that's a huge con for me. There's never like a time off. There's never like, oh, I work 9 till 5. Oh, I work this to this, because there's always somebody being like, no, answer me now. I need to know now.
Or a lot of people work 9 to 5, so the time they pick up their pageantry stuff is outside of work, isn't it? And
yeah, exactly.
Stuff as well, yeah.
So they're always like, no, you don't understand. I need to know right now. And I'm like, I just want to sit here and not have to think about work. Yeah. It's, yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's, that's like a lot. Another con is I always end up, oh, actually, I got a massive one right now because I've been doing it the last few days, doing my taxes. Because it's a business, I have to put in my tax returns, and trying to organize all of my receipts and stuff is just not what I'm made for. It should not be my job. It's not me. Luckily, I've got Sam, one of my past queens, as an accountant, so all the time I'm like, excuse me, what am I gonna do? Another con is, see, I don't think I've got many. I really don't think I've got any cons. It is literally that.
Do you get a pageant hangover?
Oh, that's a con. I have to book 3 days off of work after YEMI because I physically cannot move. I just eat loads of McDonald's for 3 days straight.
I deserve this.
Yeah, I think, oh, actually, I've got another con. I do have another con. Sore losers. So like, it breaks my heart when I've been speaking to girls all year, they've loved it, they've been amazing finalists, and then they lose, and some of the messages I've received in the past have been horrendous.
Oh goodness.
My mum had somebody threaten her, because my mum is my co-director, and her and her husband actually like confronted my mum in a hallway. It was awful. So yeah, sore losers. That's got to be my last one.
Then, isn't it? And that just goes to show that they shouldn't be a queen if that's their reaction.
It's not what we want out of pageantry. You're not fit for it, because that's not what we do here.
No, and that just verifies your decision, doesn't it, when they do that?
Exactly. You weren't supposed to win, because you can't have that kind of attitude. And if I took them to America and they lost in America, what if that's when I found out that they kick off?
Exactly, and that reflects on you as well, doesn't it? You know,
it looks like I've brought that. So yeah, that's, I think, having to deal with that aftermath. It just breaks my heart. Like, it just really hurts that I've done so much. Yeah, like I've given so much and I've done so much, and you've had this amazing weekend, and all weekend you've been praising it, and then you lose and you go, now actually it was all horrible, I hated every minute, and that just hurts. It really hurts.
Yeah. Oh, that's not on. So if I was to want to enter YEMI, how do I go about entering?
You can message me on Facebook, but also we've got on our website, so our website is www.yemipageants.com, and you just go to the enter now button, fill out the details. It's literally just little questions like your name, your age, date of birth, and your address for when we send your regional sash out, and yeah, you're done. You just send the form off and you're entered.
And do you know the actual fee itself? Can that be paid in instalments, or does that have to be all at once?
No, that can be done in instalments or all at once. It's up to you. We don't even really push it. Like, from the minute you enter, we don't say like, okay, you've got 3 months to pay it off. We have a deadline date, which is about 2 weeks before the finals. But other than that, you've got all the time in the world to pay it off, whether you want to pay £10 here and there, or you want to pay £50 here and there. We just ask for a £50 deposit so that we can get your sash and crown out, and so that we know we've got that there for you to get there.
That's exciting. That is so exciting. Oh, well, listen, thank you so much for coming on and discussing your pageant with me. I'm sure we've covered everything. So if anybody's really interested in it, obviously, just get your name down, get involved. And thank you for giving me your time. Enjoyed that little chat.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Okay, do you want to say goodbye to everybody? Bye-bye.
Bye.